Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ethan and today I'll be showing you how I got to Ultimate Champion and how I beat 2 pros along the way. I know I said it would be a while before my next video, but the support on the 21 video was absolutely unbelievable and I had some time this weekend, so I figured I would try to get another video out for you guys. I usually don't have that much time to grind throughout the season because I'm, busy, but I always play early season, so I guess you can call me an early season warrior. And at the time of this recording, I'm currently number 509 in the world, which is pretty cool. And I reached Ultimate Champion with a 75% win rate, which is pretty good for early season. And as you can see, I beat Hypno and X-Ali, or Ali, I'm not sure. But I'll be introducing the two of them and commentating over the games. So without any further ado, let's hop into the first match. We're in the first game against Hypno. He's a Clash Royale content creator from Germany. He streams almost every single day, and he is one of the best bait players in the world. He's best known for inventing the Hypno deck, which is a log bait deck with no spell. I'm sure you faced it before, but just in case you didn't know, it's the one with Goblin Barrel, Valk, Wall Breakers, and it doesn't have a log. And I believe he has a top 8 finish on ladder with bait, so he's very, very good. And around the time I started playing Clash Royale, he was one of the first streamers I watched, actually. So yeah, and his growth has been absolutely crazy to see. I know a lot of people in the community don't like Hypno. I know his deck's playstyle is very annoying to play against. I hate playing against it as well. But I gotta defend my boy Hypno. I believe it takes a lot of skill to win with his deck on top ladder. Like, you can't just randomly spam and pray there. And, well, I do think sometimes he complains on stream a little too much. He has this bad habit of saying that every matchup is bad for bait. Which, yeah, but he's an entertaining streamer, a good dude, and he's very, very good at the game, of course. So if you haven't already, make sure to tune into his streams. Anyways, that's enough yapping about Hypno. It's time to start yapping about the game. So he's playing this interesting Rascal's Bait variation. Instead of Bomb Tower, he has the Evil Skeleton Army, and instead of the Evil Ghost, he has Skeleton King. This variant has no building, which means it should be easier to break through, but he has the Skeleton Army, which will shred the miner in a millisecond. I still think this is Bait's matchup by a little bit. Even without a building, the Dark Goblin Rascal's Vine defense is insanely hard to break through, and he has one more pressure card. Yeah, even though Balloon has good responses, they can always sneak damage through, but they don't have Evil Ghosts, which I guess makes the defense a little easier. Fan said that this matchup, Fan, the best Balloon player, said this matchup is probably even, which I can see. We have good responses for his stuff, but he also has good responses for my stuff. So I think it's fair to say that this is a tough matchup to play from both sides. So yeah, let's just hop into the game. Yeah, when I saw his name, I was very nervous, but I'll try to win. So we must be in the middle to take care of the wall breakers. With the right timing, he will fully counter. And we didn't have our Bomb Tower and Psycho, so we just saved one of the small spells for the Skeleton Arrow. And we do this Skelly's placement up high to deal with the Skeleton Army. The Skelly's placement there is very good. And yeah, when I saw Rascals, I was like, okay, he's not playing his signature deck, but yeah, I knew this was probably going to be not the easiest matchup, especially against Hypno. He's one of the best offensive players. And yeah, so just to pause the game real quick. So I saw his name when we loaded in, and I knew that if I kind of just turtled and played defensive the whole game, I wasn't going to win, especially against Hypno because he is so good at spamming you out. So I feel like in this matchup, my game plan was to sack damage to go in and try to get the momentum because I knew I wouldn't be able to defend flawlessly. Like, he has so many ways to cheese damage, but yeah, you'll see how this plays out in game. And here my hand was kind of bad, so I just played a Barbaro in front of the Musketeer so I could get a few more shots at the Skeleton King. And yeah, the Bomb Tower only splashed the Dark Goblin once. This is actually a mistake. I meant to play my Skeletons on the Dark Goblin. That was my original plan. Just Bomb Tower to take care of the Skeleton King, Skeletons on top of the Dark Goblin, and then just put a small spell into the Skelly Barrel. But I messed up. I think I selected the wrong thing, but it's no big deal. Yeah. As you can see, we have our Evil Musket Psycho, so I think I go Balloon the back here. Or actually, he Wall Breakers. As you can see, the only way I could have countered the Wall Breakers with no damage was to Evil Musket in the middle, but obviously that's not worth it. So I just decided to Bar Barrel the Wall Breaker on the weak side tower, and yeah, let the other one go. Like, you do have to eat damage in this matchup. The crucial thing is that you know when to eat damage at the right time, so you can get the tempo and then go in. So here I ballooned the back here because we have Evil Musket Psycho. My idea was just to let this balloon go, because you'd probably try to overcommit defending it, and then we'd get a counter push with our Musketeer. So I think he goes Rascals to bridge here, and he does some very good pressure. So we have to get a tight defense on here. Bomb tower high to put Skelly King and Evil's Skeleton Barrel. And yeah, we Bar Barreled like that to one, take care of the skeletons closest to the Musketeer, because once all the Evil Skeleton Army skeletons are dead, then the tower would target the Skeleton Army General, and then yeah, this Bar Barrel also would pull the Skeleton King. So yeah, I was like, when I saw those Wall Breakers, I was like, okay, we'll just eat the damage and go in, because we have a counter pushing Musketeer. This is probably like our only chance to get some damage here. But as you can see, the Vines are so strong against Balloon, and the Rascal Girls shredding that Balloon in a millisecond. And yeah, we just decide to eat more damage here, but as you can see, in our hand, we're already back to Balloon. So, also generally in this kind of matchup, I think you'd want to always support your Balloon with Ice Golem, because if you just Balloon Miner and without Ice Golem support, you're just gonna Skeleton Army on your Miner, which will kill it, and then they'll either Rascals or Dark Goblin directly on your Balloon, and it'll die very fast, so you get no damage. And then we actually predict his Dark Goblin in the middle here, but he predicts our prediction with the Skeleton Army, so we'll play by him. But, you know, we have almost a full HP Balloon on tower, and yeah, we actually get some damage here, which is very nice. And then he has a good counter push in the other lane, so just Bomb Tower on top of it. Let's take care of the Dark Goblin and make the Skeleton Barrel pop. And he does a big mistake here, actually. So he tried to predict the Skellies, but I didn't even have them in hand. And then he also Vines to try to predict something. I could have overcommitted a Snowball on it, but you know, I decided to go in because I knew that was an overcommit. And maybe I should have Miner predicted on the Rascal Girls, because I knew he had no elixir, excuse me, to support it, but it's fine. And I do a play here that actually wins me the game. So I cycle my Evil Skeletons behind my tower. It was to get to my Balloon, but also I knew that he wouldn't push into the lane with my Musketeer, because then it would get no value, and it would just give me a counter push. So I knew he would try to pressure opposite lane just to cycle, so I placed those Skellies behind just for anything, whether that's like Wall Breakers or, you know, as you can see, a Skeleton Army at the bridge. And that also allows me to cycle back to another Ice Golem Balloon. And his air counters are out of hand, as you can see. Yeah. I also miscounted his Psycho slightly here. I mitered in the middle to try to predict the Dark Goblin. It wasn't in hand. But we have a full Balloon on tower. We get a very nice Snowball hitting the tower and the Rascal Grows. We get a hit, which, you know, is game-winning damage. But, you know, he has a double Evil push, so this is going to be his last of the game. So if we defend this, we'll be good. I placed my Bomb Tower here just because I was a little bit paranoid of the Evil Skarmy. Usually with the General, what you have to do is either commit both small spells on it, which kind of sucks, or, you know, commit a small spell and then, you know, find some other way to kill it, whether that's through Ice Golem death damage or like a Bomb Tower splash. But, you know, I did kind of forget that he had Evil Skeleton Barrel and Cycle, so yeah, but it's okay. And then we Snowball on the Evil Skeleton Barrel a little bit early, and kind of a bad Bomb Tower by us. We let one Wall Breaker sneak through, but we've won. We have the elixir to go in. And yeah, that was a very nicely played game by us, actually. And yeah, we beat Hypno, one of the best bait players. Yeah, there were some small mistakes, but overall, very well played. I was very nervous this game, but yeah, just to recap, generally the game plan was to stack damage to try to go in, because I knew that I probably wouldn't be able to defend the entire game, especially against a player like Hypno. And yeah, we pulled off the win, and I'll see you in the next match. Alright, after beating Hypno, we were right into the second game against X Ali or X Ali, an Argentinian pro player. He has a top 12 ladder finish and top 4 GT, so he is very good. And he's playing Bush Spam with the Evo Skarmy. This is a good matchup for Balloon, but you can really struggle if you try to over-defend and don't support your Balloon pushes properly. You can freely go in if they waste their Dark Goblin, but against a good player, they'll just spam you nonstop and, use their Dark Goblin well. And the Bush plus Spirit's pressure is so broken that even though we have fantastic responses to his deck, you'll always be down Elixir if you keep trying to defend flawlessly. So your game plan in this matchup, should be to one, defend, but you should know when to take damage to build a push. Since you usually only need like 2 good pushes to break through. And I know some of you guys, myself included, have lost this matchup because you kept trying to defend, and then when you finally tried to go in, then your balloon push isn't supported. So they defend with Dark Goblin Spirits, and then yeah, you just keep getting spammed. But I'll show you how Balloon can break through in this matchup. Yeah, Skeleton Barrel's here, so just play a Bomb Tower on it, since it's a Spirit is also running behind it. You could have done it 1 tile lower, but the placement is fine, I think. And then we Skeletons to eat up the Fire Spirit shot. And then yeah, we're waiting for the Bush to cross the bridge here so we can spell it down, I think. And then we get a Musketeer to DPS down the Skeleton King. And here we do kind of an expensive defense here, but I didn't want to Bar Barrel on the Dark Goblin because we wanted to save it for the Skeleton Barrel, and then since the Musketeer would be alive, then he still has to defend that. But yeah, place the Bush. We don't have any of our small spells in Psycho, so it's okay to play a Bomb Tower when you know they don't have your Skeleton Barrel in hand. But as you can see, he does very good pressure and gets back to his Skeleton Barrel instantly. And this is what I mean about this matchup. Like, it's literally impossible not to take damage in Singo. You just gotta try to minimize it and make sure you have a good Psycho for his stuff. So I think we just, yeah, Ice Storm to cut the Skelly King. Yeah. Not a bad defense at all, and since he played it Bush behind the Skeleton King, we just Bomb Tower on it, so good defense. And we haven't gone in yet, but of course we haven't had the opportunity to. You can start going in double elixir, but again, only once you have a good opportunity. And it was reaching double elixir here, so I was like, okay, we'll just eat the Fire Spirit and then we'll build up a good push. And we have our Evo Skeletons in Psycho, so we don't actually have to commit a small spell on the Skeleton Barrel. We can just Evo Skeletons on like the side, which I think we do, to, it doesn't defend it flawlessly, but the important thing is to build up a big push that he can't really stop with Ice Golem Balloon Miner. And then, yeah, double elixir just started, so this is a perfect time to go in. We also have the counter-pushing Musketeer. And then, yeah, in this matchup, like, pretty much always you'd want to Evo Musk on the Dark Goblin. There's nothing better to snipe. And we get 2 hits there, so that's game-winning damage. But yeah, this is a bad Bomb Tower, usually against these Dark Goblin Skeleton Barrel pushes. I talked about it in the last video as well, but yeah, just Bomb Tower on top of the Dark Goblin, so it splashes it and then the Skeleton Barrel pops instantly. As yeah, that bomb tower was not the best. We have to overcommit a lot more elixir on the Dark Goblin, which is not good. But we're in a very commanding lead here. We basically already won this game. We just need to get one more good push in. And I think we bar barrel on all that just to absorb the yeah. And then we mine around the Dark Goblin here in an unexpected place, so that'll help us a lot in the defense. And we actually kill it, which is maybe a bit of a lucky interaction from us. But yeah, we bar barrel on the skeleton. And as you can see, that was a very good defense, actually. And we have our evil skeletons again, so we don't have to commit like a bomb tower on it. That would put us down too much elixir. So we just use our evil skeletons on the bush to get a +1 trade. Unfortunately, the bush goblin does get one hit on the tower, but it's no big deal, really. And we evil musk on the dark goblin again. I think he lost count of our cycle, so. But this is great, as you can see. We have a musketeer, so we just go in. And since the musketeer power shots, let me rewind a little bit. But yeah, the great thing about this matchup is that you can't kill our musketeer on defense, and and the musketeer still has her power shot. So he places the dark goblin in, the normal position, which is in between like the king tower and the princess towers. Or I guess in this case he has the cannoneer. Then there's a chance the dark goblin could get sniped, so he has to play it on the side. We miner trying to predict it, but the skeleton army walks up. And then here we have a full HP balloon basically going to the tower, so we committed both of our small spells on the Dark Goblin to try to kill it. And we get a crucial hit, which, yeah, we've won the game, we just need 2 more snowballs. And he catches our miner there, but yeah, it's too little, too late. And here I'm just trying to quickly cycle back to another snowball. Yeah, that was a very nice win. So just to recap, I think you need to recognize in this matchup that you cannot defend flawlessly. At some point you need to sack damage to go in, ideally with a counter-pushing musketeer. And yeah, just make sure to save your evil musketeer for the Dark Goblin because they're going to be forced to play it to try to defend your balloon push. And yeah, this is a common theme throughout this matchup and the last matchup. You need to know when to take damage to be able to push, because if you keep defending, you'll never get the tempo, and then yeah, it's very hard to kind of break out of that cycle. So yeah, that was a nice win against X-Ali, and see you in the next match. We're in the next game against this guy, and I did cover RG in the 21 video, but just to recap, you want to defend in single, because if you go in, they will defend for cheap with their hunter, and then you'll get wrecked by an RG counter push. You can go in single if you know they're down a bunch of elixir or they play a hunter in the back for whatever reason, but generally a good RG player won't give you that opportunity. So yeah, just defend in single usually, and be very careful because you can get overwhelmed very easily. I make like one small mistake which almost cost me the entire game in single, but it's not very obvious at all. You'll see. And yeah, this matchup is very tricky, so you need to navigate single elixir. If you get out of single, fine, then you're in a good position to win the matchup. And I believe he does go very aggressive here with an RG to bridge, but we're ready to defend that. I probably should have played my bar barrel a little bit lower, but it doesn't really matter. It's still a good defense. And I think we just cycle skellies in the back to get to our evo. And I think here's where we make a critical mistake somehow. So we end up musketeering into the same lane as the ghost, And this seemed like an okay play, but the problem is that he's already back to another RG. And something you want to do in this matchup, especially in single, is that if they RG to back, you want to have your Musketeer and Psycho for it, excuse me. So you can Musketeer the same lane as the RG, and then you put troops in front of your Musketeer so it won't get yanked by the Fisherman, and then they'll help DPS down the RG. So if they try to out Psycho your Musketeer or whatever, you have a bomb tower to defend the second RG. And the problem with cycling this Musketeer into the Ghost is that you also have to commit more elixir. Like, at least you'd want to commit more elixir so the Ghost doesn't just end up killing your Musketeer, which is really bad. As you can see, we don't have our bomb tower in Psycho yet, and this gives him a great opportunity to either RG to bridge or RG to back. So we should have just played Miner in the same lane as the Ghost. Just make sure to keep either Musketeer or your bomb tower in hand when you know they have an RG. Ideally the Musketeer. But yeah, this one simple mistake cost us the game almost. So yeah, you need to be very, very careful in single elixir. I think we just set up a defensive bomb tower because we don't really have another choice. Probably should have skeletoned on the RG. I mean, it would kill the skeletons, but it would get a little bit of DPS on it. And he's already back to another RG, so we're in big trouble here. And we don't have another bomb tower, unfortunately. This is the logic for why you'd want to, when they play an RG to back, you'd want to cycle a Musketeer into it. It's because when they place the second RG down, and you have your bomb tower, then the RG will target the bomb tower, and you won't take a bunch of damage, because just the Musketeer and, your support troops aren't going to be able to DPS down the RG. The RG is extremely beefy. And we take a bunch of damage here, which, yikes. We haven't lost yet, but it's not looking good. But it's okay, it's double elixir, we can definitely make a comeback. So, don't give up. And I think I misclicked my snowball here for whatever reason. That was really bad, but let's just pretend that didn't happen. And the E-Spirit chains on the tower Musketeer, and that allows him to get a fireball. But we can go in now. He was down a little bit of elixir because that offense was expensive. So now we just go in. So generally, okay, he played a bad Hunter there. The RG player should always be trying to play the Hunter slightly in front of the balloon, so even if the balloon player snowballs it, it can still shoot down the balloon. But yeah, generally, you'd want to play the Miner slightly closer to the tower, in the placement right there, or in front of it. There's a chance it could distract the Hunter, but the other positions are completely fine, to be honest, as long as you have a supporting Ice Golem. And he's able to get away with it, but since he played his Fireball there, now we're able to freely get down another Musketeer, and we're already back to an Ice Golem balloon, so we can just keep going in. And very often in these kind of RG matchups, you can get the momentum like this. You Ice Golem balloon, Miners, snowball to Hunter, and then play your Musketeer because they'll probably be forced to Fireball on the balloon. And we get a very nice snowball there, snowballing it back into our Musketeer. And if they play their Fireball on defense, then it's great because you can set up a counter-pushing Musketeer, and then if you get a good snowball, it will be able to snipe the Hunter from a distance. But yeah, we've won here, basically. We go in, and then we played a bomb tower directly on top of the RG to reset it, and we get a very nice last-second snowball. And because that Ice Golem actually got pushed behind the balloon by the RG, the Hunter ends up shooting the Ice Golem. Let me rewind that real quick. So yeah, kind of a lucky interaction, but yeah, we recovered that terrible start and won against RG. And yeah, that put us one win away from Ultimate Champion, so yeah, I'll see you in the next match. Alright, this was the last game to get to Ultimate Champion, and we're up against 3M with no other air defense. As you can probably tell, this variation is very good. You just have to go in when they pump, or they obviously can't afford 3M, and they have literally no way of killing your balloon, and it would take pretty much their entire tower. And when they pump, what I like to do is let the balloon tank for the miner, if you know they're running a 3M variation without another air card, since it will basically, like I said, take the entire tower, and then you miner on the pump to try to take it out. Against the 3M variations with miner minions or hunter, it's obviously a lot harder since you can't punish them as easily, so you have to commit a lot more on the offense. But yeah, against this variation, you can easily win in single, and even if you're down in elixir, like let's say they're able to protect your pump, just try to get to your evos since they can bail you out on defense. And yeah, I probably won't spend that much time on this game. This game was a little bit sus, to be honest, but yeah, we just musketeer into the ghost, and we prepare to barbaro on it. And I think we use Ice Golem to bring the bandit over to the musketeer. Nice. And he does a very aggressive E-barbs here. We just played our Ice Golem, so we just decided to go with Bomb Tower. And I didn't go with my miner on defense because I already figured he would be playing 3 musketeers, judging from his deck. And with most E-barbs variations, they don't run any other air defense, so yeah, I'm not sure what that ghost and that heal spirit was by him, but I think we just barbaro on the ghost and musketeer, and Ice Golem in front of the musketeer to protect it, since we know he didn't have E-barbs back in hand. He's back to it now, but and maybe I should have snowballed on the bandit here, but it's really no big deal. And he pumps here, and then we just immediately go in. And yeah, this tricky miner placement is actually very unexpected. I learned it from watching Fan play against some 3M players. Top ladder players may expect it, but you know, for most players who you know, aren't in top ladder, this miner will usually connect to the pump. The downside of it is that if for some reason they don't defend the miner, then it will activate their king tower. But it doesn't really matter because in this matchup they have no air defense. The balloon will take their entire tower, basically. So yep, the balloon is 1. I think he's able to prevent a 4th hit. Yeah. But this is a very good position for us. But I think here he does some very good pressure, and his defense may be a little bit fishy. We barbaro like that to try to pull the ghost, and then we had the bomb tower on everything, and since we don't want that ghost to take our entire tower, we have to overcommit a miner on it. And now we're down like almost 4 elixir, but that was a bad push by him since it's reaching double elixir and we can just defend that with our trusty Ice Golem Kite. But then this defense was also not that good, unfortunately. This was kind of a bad bomb tower placement. My original plan was to bomb tower here, and then it would drop the bomb, and then I would place my miner to, get the troops back into the bomb radius. But I think I should have just played it in the default, like, middle position. Then the troops would travel to it. The other Princess Tower would help out a little bit, and then yeah, I could have still. By that time, I would have been able to get back to my miner and place it in the middle, so the troops would get pulled from the bomb. It would, get damaged by the bomb anyways, so this was definitely a suboptimal placement. And I don't miner here for whatever reason. I snowball thinking that the bomb tower bomb would kill the bandit, but it doesn't, so we get a very unlucky interaction here where that 1 HP bandit is just going to town on our tower. And at this point I was thinking like, okay, do we seriously throw away this matchup? But we decide to go balloon instantly here since I know he overcommitted a little on that offense and he won't have enough to afford 3M. So he goes all in here, but at this point there's no way he can break through. Our defense is just too strong. And yeah, the bomb tower is cleaning up everything very nicely. And yeah, you know, that game was a little sus. We made one like big mistake on defense that almost cost us the game, but overall, that was not the worst. So yeah, that was the final win that got me to Ultimate Champion this season, and yeah, I'll see you in the outro. We're at the end of the video, and yeah, that's how I beat 2 pros to reach Ultimate Champion early season. I do recommend you guys to grind early season because you have a high chance of facing actually good players. And it's very good practice for noobs like us who don't hang around top ladder and usually don't get the opportunity to play against pros very often. Anyways, I hope the games were instructive and that you learned something. I'll try my best to upload some more YouTube videos in the future, but no promises. Thank you for all the support, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.